Morning. If you would please be seated at this time. Welcome to the 2025 Graves County High School and Graves County Middle School Veterans Day celebration. In 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed a bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day and called upon Americans everywhere to rededicate themselves to peace. Today, it is our pleasure to present this year's program to honor all veterans of the American Armed Forces. We can never fully repay our debt of gratitude to the more than 750,000 American service members who died in battle, the 1.4 million who were wounded, or the 83,204 unaccounted for United States military personnel. We can, however, recognize and thank the 19 million veterans still living today. At this time, I would like to introduce Sergeant First Class Bruce Kernodle, the Army instructor in our JROTC program at Graves County Schools.
All right, good morning, GC. When Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner in 1814, he called America the land of the free and the home of the brave. Those words are as true today as they were then. Throughout our nation's history, Americans have bravely answered the call to defend our freedom, to aid our friends and allies, and to turn back aggressors. At this time, I would ask that you please stand for the presentation of the colors and the playing of our national anthem. We ask that you please remain standing until the colors have left the floor. You may be seated.
The Battle Hymn of the Republic was written during the American Civil War in 1861 by Julia Ward Howe, who set her powerful faith-filled lyrics to the melody of the popular soldiers' marching song, John Brown's Body. Its stirring refrain, "Glory, glory, hallelujah," quickly became a unifying anthem for the Union, and it has remained one of the most enduring songs of American patriotism, symbolizing courage, justice, and hope. Composer and arranger J. Althouse later created a choral adaptation that brings renewed energy and accessibility to Howe's classic work. His arrangement preserves the hymn's majestic spirit while offering harmonies and rhythms that make it especially moving for modern choirs and audiences alike.
Good morning. I am Captain Seth Hart, Senior Army Instructor here at Graves County High School. I'd like to start by saying thank you. To our veterans present today, thank you for coming and for your leadership, which you have provided and displayed for our great nation and our community once you returned home. I am proud to join you on this day of honor. On this day, our nation and our community remembers the moments when the guns of our nation's wars fell silent, and we recognize the service and the sacrifice of our nation's veterans. All the way from Valley Forge to Vietnam, from Kuwait to Kandahar, and from Berlin to Baghdad, our veterans have borne the cost of Americans' wars. And they have stood watch over America's peace. The American people are grateful to the veterans and all who have fought for our freedom. This year in particularly is special as it marks the 250th birthday of the United States Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. Early on in our nation's infancy, men volunteered to take up arms against the British from both land and sea and fight for our independence as a nation. This created our first population of veterans. These great men forged a path for both men and women to follow. In our country's greatest times of need, veterans have answered the call time and time again. During World War I and World War II, veterans and their families produced America's greatest generation and united our country like never before. Men and women both answered the call again in Korea and Vietnam, even though service members returned home to no welcome party, no congratulations, and a broken support system. Despite these factors, they answered the call in our country's time of need. Yet again in Desert Storm and Desert Shield, veterans answered the call of our nation. However, this time something was different. Our forces were made up entirely of volunteers. Then in Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Kuwait, Syria, and many other operations and engagements around the globe, both men and women have felt the need to serve our great nation. It is with their efforts that we stand proud of our nation and its military. It is these men and women who have transformed our Army, Navy, and Marine Corps into three of the greatest fighting forces this world has ever seen. It is because of veterans that 250 years later, we are celebrating the birthdays of those forces and continue to live in the world's greatest nation and democracy.
Your Grand Ode Flag was written in 1906 by George M. Cohen for his musical George Washington Jr., quickly becoming one of America's most beloved patriotic songs and the first from a musical to sell over 1 million copies of sheet music. Its spirited melody and lyrics celebrate pride in the American flag and the ideals of freedom and unity it represents. Many years later, composer and arranger Ruth Elaine Schramm created a choral adaptation titled Fly High, You Grand Old Flag, blending Cohen's timeless tune with a new uplifting melody.
The song God Bless America was written by Irving Berlin in 1918 during World War I. It didn't become popular until it was re-recorded by singer Katie Smith just prior to World War II. God Bless America captures a sense of pride in the nation's beauty and devotion to American ideals. It is a timeless reminder of the hope, unity, and faith in the American spirit.
This Land Is Your Land was written by American folk singer Woody Guthrie in 1940. The song's melody is based on the Carter family tune, When the World's on Fire. It was a response to Irving Berlin's God Bless America and reflects both love for the American landscape and a critical view of inequality. This Land Is Your Land has an outstanding legacy as one of the most famous and popular American folk songs, with such artists as Bruce Springsteen and Pete Seeger covering the song.
To further honor the brave men and women who have or are now serving in the military, Graves County High School Orchestra and Band will perform To Reap the Blessings of Freedom. This melody includes the official hymns of the Navy and Coast Guard, the Air Force, the Marines, and the Army. As each hymn is played, please stand if you've served or if you have family members that served in that branch. Students, faculty, and staff, please also stand and represent your family's sacrifice to America. United States Navy and Coast Guard. United States Air Force. United States Marines. United States Army. Thank you for your service.
While Veterans Day is primarily a tribute to our country's living veterans, and Memorial Day is typically a tribute for troops that have fallen, it is always appropriate to include a moment of silence in respect for those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country and our freedom. The bugle call of taps began as a signal for lights out at the end of the day. However, the playing of taps continues to be a part of military funerals and memorial ceremonies. Please rise for the Graves County High School Concert Band's performance of Taps, followed by Amazing Grace. You may be seated. Today is a very emotional day for our veterans. Nearly every family at Graves County High School and Graves County Middle School has a veteran. I encourage each of you today to reach out to a veteran and tell them you appreciate their service. We are all blessed to be in the best country on earth, and it's because of these brave men and women that we experience the freedoms that we enjoy today. At this time, I would like to ask any of our guests or any staff from Graves County Middle School or Graves County High School who are veterans to please stand. Thank you for your service and the sacrifice of your family. Thank you to all of our guests for joining us today and for your service and time to our country. We enjoy those freedoms. At this time, this will conclude our ceremony for today, and we will be dismissing Graves County Middle School first, and then we will dismiss our high school students at the next call. Thank you very much. Let's give our musicians and our choirs a big round of applause.